Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Ishan. In honor of the passing of the great John Madden, the namesake of the video game Madden, he passed away a few days ago. R.I.P. He was a phenomenal head coach, and many of you guys probably know I'm a football fan. I'm a big football fan. I have been for a very long time, pretty much most of my life. And as a football fan, I remember coming to school. I remember watching Sunday nights and a lot of Monday night football games, the big games, and hearing John Madden's voice, hearing his voice in a Super Bowl, and hearing his voice, just hearing his voice in general. Him, this enthusiastic man with the boom and the pow and the way he talked. He is what I thought a sports color commentator was supposed to be. This joyful guy who understands the game but breaks it down in a way where I can understand it. He was really influential in me loving football. And and then I would watch it, and then I'd go to school and come home, and I would play Madden and hear his voice, playing Madden every day. I still have a lot of those old PlayStation Madden games right now, and I play them sometimes, and you still hear John Madden's voice, and it was sad to hear his passing. He passed at like 85 years old. Lived a great life, hell of a coach, Super Bowl winning coach, one of the winningest coaches of all time. And, he helped make this video game, John Madden, a video game that I have played even to this day. I know a lot of people really don't like the modern Madden games. I really don't blame them, especially when I go back and play some of those older games. But today I'm here to give you a top 5 Madden features. Now, Madden is a game that is older than I am. It's an almost 30-year-old game. It's been around forever. It's had many features over its years, and it's hard to narrow them down to 5. But I'm going to narrow them down to 5. Starting at number 5, I would probably say one of the best features in the Madden game has to be at least one of my favorite features that they need to bring back is Vision, QB Vision. That was something that was introduced in Madden 06. I believe it was Madden 06. And this was a feature where in Madden there's a lot of statistics. There's a lot of statistics in each of the quarterbacks and each of the players. Speed, catching, throwing accuracy, awareness. And on Madden, I believe they got rid of it after 8. But I remember they introduced it in Madden 06. And in Madden 06, if you had a quarterback with, what's the word I'm looking for? If your quarterback had enough awareness, that was his vision. And the vision was, when you say hike, like whatever your quarterback's awareness is, that's his vision. Literally, you cannot throw an accurate pass to anyone else except the people inside of your vision. And I know some people disagree, I always thought that feature was so freaking cool. I always thought it was cool because I was like, that's kind of a realistic feature. You shouldn't be able to throw it to just anyone on the field if you're not looking at them. But if you have smaller vision, the other team can see your vision. So they can see you swinging that thing around. But you got characters like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady whose visions took up the whole field so they could see everything. And it really made that awareness bar worth something. Because I think in the later Maddens, the awareness bar isn't really worth a damn. Not really. As long as you have it in over 50, as long as you have it the 70s, it doesn't have to be in the 90s. Literally, I've been a Beast player. I've created Beast players. I've played the game with Beast players whose awareness weren't really that high. But everything else on them was so ridiculous that it was just who gives a fuck? But I always liked QB Vision. QB Vision was always a dope feature to me. I always loved it. I wish they would bring it back. Okay, Madden feature number 4. That was awesome. It's another old feature that I believe they should bring back, which is Minicamps. There was a feature back in the day, actually on the old PlayStation ones. They haven't brought it back in a while, but there was a feature where you got to each individual player. There was multiple minicamps, and minicamps are just drills that you would run with the players. Standard drills that exist in the real NFL today. And during the off season, during training camp, you could run the drills and get more attributes, upgrade certain attributes on certain players. Even if you did another feature that I'll be bringing up in a later date, Superstar Mode, you can do drills to upgrade your character and through that way. And in the off season, you can work out, which was one of my favorite things you could do. They need to bring that back. I don't know why they got rid of it. You could, in the off season, select rookies, rookies coming out of college, before the draft, to work them out, personally work them out, to get more information on them and to get more and understand their attributes more, which is an awesome concept because it's a real life thing. Teams bring rookies into their facility to work out and throw the ball with their people all the time, and it's a much easier way than just spending scouting points. Like, the scouting point thing that they did is so lame. It's so boring. Like, I mean, they did a lot with the minicamp, but the minicamp was always fun. It was always a cool way to get certain attributes on players up. Now, I always hated that you could only use it once, but I think they should bring back the minicamp. I like doing the practices. I like feeling like I'm upgrading my players in practice because that's where you should be upgrading your players. They even sort of got rid of the practices in the new Madden. The new Madden, I don't even think they let you do it. Like, they wouldn't let me do it. They wouldn't let me practice. So I like the minicamp. I wish they would bring it back, but who knows if they ever will. All right, number 3 is a funny one for me because the number 3, one thing that I wish they would bring back is creative. Mostly like creating a team, create a stadium. Back in the day, they used to allow you to create the entire stadium, to create the entire field, to change the entire field. I mean, they gave you a lot more creative control. You could adjust. You could create the uniforms. You could create the logos. You could like the things they allowed you to do were out there. Nowadays, you can't really do that on Madden. Like, you have to select a field. You have a certain amount of names you have to select and a color scheme you have to select. They've taken away a lot of the creative liberties from that older Maddens allowed you to do. But no, you know what? Maybe I should take these to top 6 because there's still some other features that I really dig. I really dig. You know what? I'm gonna drop that out for another feature. I'm gonna drop my number 3 is being dropped out. Creative thing is cool, but I think something that's game changing for Madden because it wasn't always in this, and I am old enough to remember when it wasn't in this. The stamina bar. The stamina bar. Back in the day, like 2000 to they didn't really put the stamina bar into I don't remember. They put it in 6. I don't remember, but I know for a fact that 2004 Madden Michael Vick was fucking unfair. There was no stamina bar. He was a 95 speed quarterback. It was fucking insane. It was insane. Like it was nuts. Michael Vick was nuts on 2004's Madden. Like, no stamina bar, so you could just take off and just run all day. Not metaphorically, literally all day, because he's a 95 speed on a given. Sometimes he's the fastest player on the field. And unless you're blitzing every play, all out blitzing, because if he has an angle, he's out. It was nuts, man. But they added in the stamina bar, and it was an interesting feature. I remember being a kid and playing a game and being knowing that you can't really do something too many times, knowing that your best player, say if you send your best player on a deep route and he goes to the deep route, the ball gets batted out. He's tired. He can't just go and do another deep route. Adding in that extra layer of you having to think about that, because no matter what game you're playing, you have to think about that. Because even if they make their stamina on 99, they will get tired. And sometimes that's all it takes. I remember actually when I was younger, my neighbor Cody, I played games with him all the time. We were playing NCAA. It's not Madden, but it's the same thing, NCAA. And his player, he had this ridiculous player he had created. And that player, I had a hard time dealing with him. Game down to the wire. I'm going, he's going, I'm going, he's going. And and in a certain spot, I get the ball, 4th and goal. I can kick the field goal and go into overtime. But I noticed that his game-wrecking player isn't on the field. He's tired. He's off the field. I'm like, this is my shot. This is my chance. Sadly, I fucked up. Lost the game. It hurts to this day. The horrible flashbacks. But I digress. I love the stamina bar. It's a nice feature that really adds a bit of realness to it. Now we get into the top 2. The top 2 best features to ever be in a Madden game. Number 2, now these two can flip-flop as far as I'm concerned, but number 2 to me is the hit stick. Now, I know that it might sound simple, but you gotta understand, it wasn't always in the Madden game. The hit stick is one of the most awesome features of all time. It really changed the way, as a young kid, you thought about football. It made me want to play defense. When I was growing up, I wanted nothing more than to be a wide receiver. I wanted to be a wide receiver. I wanted to make the cool catches. I wanted to moss on somebody. Then the hit stick came out, and you're just like leveling people. And it's like, in the hit stick, by the way, like someone brought this up in another video, the hit stick is the one feature in Madden that has surpassed Madden. Like, you know, like when someone gets hit hard, you hear it, you think hit stick. The hit stick, man, it's one of the best features. Honestly, honestly, the hit stick is ingrained in me. When I have a controller in my hand, this finger right here, the finger that's usually hovering over the right stick, that's all I know how to do, man. I don't know how to arm tackle. Like, I had to like work it out of myself not to hit stick motherfuckers, because that's all you want to do. You just want to hit the corner, just pop a motherfucker, man. Oh man, the hit stick. The hit stick take me back to old football. Take me back to old school football. Popping another man right in the fucking face and seeing him fall to the ground. You going head up and that guy falling down. Like, oh man, it's some of the best hit sticks I've ever did with Cam Chancellor. Oh, I love that dude. Fucking LaRon Landry. Like I just think about some of the people. I remember one time I made a safety on NCAA back in like 2010. And I raised havoc. I just was a speeding bullet. I had so many fumbles because I would just knock motherfuckers out, and I took a lot of pride out of that. Like, you love the hit stick, love doing it in real life. I hit stick some motherfuckers in real life too in high school, but it's just a fun feature. It's a fun feature. It's the epitome of what the sport's about. But the number one feature in a Madden game, ironically, a feature that isn't in a Madden game anymore, is the Superstar mode. Superstar mode, all of its permeations and things that it's been, was such a badass feature, and I don't understand why they got rid of it. It was so cool to create your player, to pick the college you're coming out of, to select the attributes, they give you a set number of attributes. Now, sometimes they did the workout system. I wasn't the hugest fan of the workout system. Now, you guys probably remember this if you actually played the game. There used to be a system where you had to run the 40-yard dash, you had to bench press, you had to do the jump, and that's how they selected your attributes. I never could run anything past the 4.5. The fastest I could run the 40 thing in is a 4.5. Like, and I was just pushing those buttons, man. But, you know, that's the best I get was a 4.5. And I was like, oh, well, this fucking sucks. I'm just going to be like a 90 speed at best. At best. But, you know, and I could never get those drills down. So I actually like giving you a set amount of points to put on any attribute you want, but the rest is on you. And like, there's only a certain level high you can get. You can only get to like a 77, but you can be a 77 who's fast as fuck. Like, I would always make my dude like a 97 speed, 90 something acceleration and shit like that. You know, like I like give myself like 80 something, 90 something carrying. I'm like, you know what? Everything else I can fucking, you know, I can work on. But as long as I go to a team with a good old line and but different things on that aspect. And then it went next level when you can play college football, right? You could create a player in college, go through your entire college career, progressing and getting better and winning Heisman and championships, then import your player to Madden and get drafted with attributes that kind of proportion. Now, that's where they used to get a little fucked up, is that the proportions of your, like, put it this way, you'd create a player in college. You're at 99 speed, 99 strength, all this crazy shit. They import your ass over to Madden. You like a fucking 78. You like a 86 speed. You like a fucking like 80 strength. You're like, bro, like, what the fuck, man? I was all ridiculous over there, you know? But other than that, but it's still fun doing that. And I used to love doing that. Me and my friend Willie, that's all we used to do was play NCAA, import our players over, then play Madden. It was so fun. It was just so fun. Like, playing the entire game, all the players in it, drafting them over, and it almost like restarted the game over because there's players from the game we already played. That was always fun. But Superstar mode was always the fun. It was always fun upgrading, and like they'd give you this crappy little apartment at the beginning, but the better you do, the more fancy your apartment would start begin to look like. And I miss Superstar mode. I honestly do. I don't know why they got rid of it. Like, honestly, like if Madden was smart, they would just go back and do all the features from their older games and just update them. Sometimes I think these companies get a little too in their own head. I'm like, dude, just do what you did then, except now. It's like with Battlefront. I'm like, dude, just do what you did then, except now. Just do Battlefront 2, that old Star Wars game, now. That's it. You're overcomplicating this. Just do it now. And that's how I feel about some of these features. Some of these features are still active, and some of them aren't. But that's how I feel. And those are my top 5 Madden features. And honestly, like this, I made this video really impartially because 1, I don't talk about games enough, and I love the Madden game franchise. And 2, the passing of John Madden, R.I.P. legend. You gave us one of the most recognizable video games of all time. He will never be forgotten. I will guarantee this, he will be on the cover of Madden 23. John Madden. But anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe. And if you are a Madden player, what is your favorite feature in a Madden game? Thank you guys again. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.